So, where we last left off, you'll remember when you've got the monitor cable connected to your camera, the LCD monitor on the camera goes blank. Although, Verge, can I get the camera's output on the aux monitor here, please? Fantastic. I'm using an Aja HA5. This is my HDMI input, and it's got dual HDSDI outputs. I'm sending an HDSDI signal feed right back to my switcher so we can bring stuff up here and on the program. And I could also have one coming right out to a monitor mounted on my cage. How much is that going to cost? $490. Another important piece that you're going to need, this is not regular HDMI coming out of the camera. It's an HDMI mini cable. Sometimes that'll trip you up. You've got to have an HDMI mini to regular HDMI because, as far as I know, the only stuff using HDMI mini right now happen to be these DSLR cameras. An HDMI mini to HDMI regular camera, cable, 6 feet long, $30, $29.99. Not bad. All right? Make sure it's included in your rental packages if you're renting it. Obviously, you're going to get that from us. Not everybody is going to be renting from us. Maybe you're Matt Gary and you're watching from Florence. Maybe you're Sharon Monday and you're watching from Virginia. We're happy to ship to you, but if you'd rather deal with your local rental houses, we understand. Make sure they're sending you HDMI mini to HDMI regular cables. All right. Well, unless we've got any other questions on the how or the how much it's going to cost you to get your monitoring done, I'd like to draw a dividing line now between monitoring with the HDMI output and actually recording the HDMI output. This has been a really hotly contested issue on the internet. Why is that? Well, there is not a live high-definition output from your camera. Now, we are sending a 1920 by 1080 signal, but if it was proper 1920 by 1080, you'd see this full frame filled up. In our case, we do not. We've got pillar boxes here and here, and you'll notice gray letterboxing here and here. Let's get the let's get that out of there. Okay. And you'll remember, as a DSLR camera, in order to keep the lens from overheating, it's got an automatic shutoff feature so that it can finally close its lens and quit heating up the sensor. I've set mine to 8 minutes. It has been 8 minutes, so we shut them off, turn them back on. Great. So back to pillar boxes and letterboxes. Pillar boxes here, letterboxes here, and everything that's inside is what's recorded on the chip as a 1920 by 1080 signal. Now, you'll notice we've got this crazy little focus box in the middle. Frustrating, very frustrating to a lot of people because you can't just take your live HDMI signal and come into something like a Nano Flash, a Key Pro, a Cinedeck camera, because the recorded signal is going to take everything you see here, including, unfortunately, this little square. So that's frustrating. I am going to get into a recommended way of recording HDMI, but first I'm going to continue talking about how not to record HDMI. Another reason that you don't want to do a simultaneous HDMI record is that when I'm recording a video clip, yes, my focus block goes away, but I get this ugly red dot here. Now, if you don't want to spend hours and hours in post trying to eliminate that clip, I highly recommend the method that we will describe at the end of this discussion in order for recording your HDMI record. If you want to do a live HDMI record, you're going to be stuck with that if you're also simultaneously recording to your compact flash card. If you're not recording to your compact flash card, I'm going to stop that record, okay? You're stuck with this white square. Now that white square is your focus box. There are a couple of tricks to try to hide that focus box. That's turning your camera into autofocus. Check this out. If you've got an autofocus capable lens, you can pull your switch from manual to auto, and you'll notice my focus box has disappeared. Why is that? That's because, go to Jose for a second, bro. When I hit my autofocus button, which is on my pointer right here, easy access through the Habby cage, I've selected autofocus face mode. You see that little blue face there? There's autofocus live, autofocus quick, and autofocus face. Now, autofocus live has that square there no matter what. Autofocus quick also has that square there. When I go to autofocus face, that center focus box disappears. However, you'll notice that once I get a face in my picture, like Miss Debbie, hello, there's the focus box. And even worse, if I were to have 2 or 3 faces, that were well lit, you'll notice 2 or 3 face boxes. You see Marie's picked up there now. So really there's no way to escape this focus box. So we're still in the how not to record through the HDMI phase. These are some of the trip-ups that are getting folks sort of frustrated when they're trying to get this record out.